Hello again. Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy with the Greenwood Tarot. And now I'm going to deal with the majors. So what I've done is created my own sense of development, and I'm not sure if from, what has it been, hour and a half ago, that I came up with stuff and then decided, gosh, I better make these videos and run through this again, or I'm just going to forget everything that I came up with, and I'm not sure that I'm going to remember my rationale for this entirely, for these 22 cards. But we're going to go through it. It's my reinvention of the Fool's Journey, or human development, based on the images here and my own, obviously my own thinking. So redoing it. All right. So what I come up, and to me these cards are so similar that they're problematic to me. Just so similar. You know, why does he have a cauldron instead of maybe some phallic symbol? You know, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, Ma and Pa. So to me, these two together represent provide and protect. Provide and protect. And so we need that provide and protect in order to have the courage to develop our own wings and try them out. Okay? So this is, again, a process of individuation. So this is, you know, creating our own wings and giving them a try. Being foolish enough. You have to have a level of security before you feel comfortable being that foolish. Got a dog here. Listen, I gave you the opportunity to go out a minute ago, and you turned it down. You turned it down. She heard me say D-O-W-N, so that's where she's going, which is great. So I see this, not as the shaman per se, although, you know, here you could certainly be developing skills and tools that you need. But I see this more in terms of development or individuation as recognizing that you have an inner guide. You have your animal instincts on the outside, and then, you know, to recognize those parts of yourself and to consciously manage those parts of yourself. So that's how I'm seeing that. Then the blasted oak. I see now, again, in terms of individuation, being wrenched, but perhaps for a good reason, from your family tree, which is yet another step in individuation. Okay? So being released from a structure that maybe you didn't even realize was confining you. Okay? So this is getting up into adulthood. Having the strength, you see she has been using that spear. Having the strength to provide for yourself as kind of being the most basic initial trial. And, you know, again, having, this is supposed to be a cloak with the two arms here. Whoops. You know, an arm there, the sun and the moon. So feeling like you understand yourself and maybe your strengths and weaknesses and your history. So having, to me, this is like having a sense of a good sense of self-esteem, even though if it's a cloak, you're wearing it on the outside. You know, it's not in here yet. So you're wearing it on the outside. And at this stage, you're still wanting things and believing that things maybe can be easy, that you can shoot an arrow and things will come to you, that you're thinking, I know what I want, I know who I am, I know my strengths, I know what I want, I can shoot an arrow and it's going to be that simple. It's just going to be bam, I'm going to have it. It will come down, I can send my dogs out to get it, it will be mine. Which is great, you know. I would never criticize those stages of development because we need them. We need them, and it's all fine to go back to it. But then, the archer discovers this, that this is what they want. They want the world tree. They want the whole 9 yards, the big kahuna. You know, they want it all. In order to do that, they need to walk the walk and talk the talk, and it's going to take time, and it's going to be twisty, windy, and it's not going to make a hell of a lot of sense. And so the journey begins. Individually, here you go, meeting people along the way, finding shelter along the way, carrying your own lamp. The cloak that you're wearing is a little less about declaring your own individuality, you know, so much as you're out there not to declare who you are and claim what is yours, as to understand the world. During that process, you have to go through some creepy, weird, challenging environments. Not super challenging, but you know, to me, this is supposed to be marshland, swampland, and you know, there are maybe you learn what to avoid, what to embrace, what to pick up along the way. But just being willing with this moon card to go into the unknown, kind of on a deeper level, is part of the process. And you come out from that, you know, having survived the night, you come out stronger during the day. So it has been a process of empowerment. So this whole thing, from this whole traveling to the world tree, there, going through that maze, is one stage, another stage of developing self-esteem. Okay? The individual self-esteem, understanding one's own individual power. And so once we come to that point, so this is kind of like the 3 of Wands in the minors. So having come to that point, we're ready to join with another. Okay? To come together, to try putting this thing that we have created ourselves into cooperation, bonds with another, intentions. That requires change. It requires sometimes stripping things down and looking again at who we are and who they are, and how we are going to come together. So to me, this change is the idea that getting together with someone and creating a life with someone, you really have to approach from a different perspective. You know, you have to sometimes destroy some of that notion of what is most important for you to do in life, and get down to the essentials, the bone there, in order to make that joining successful. And so this is what happens to me. It's like you stop being these individuals, you know, 2 individuals coming together, and you become a synergy of different energies. All right, so you kind of, this is how you become a unit, and not just 2 individuals who happen to be together. And once you establish that, and that you're wanting to establish your own tree, establish your own place for the 2 of you to grow, you have something now beyond yourself that triggers your sense of protectiveness. And that's what I see here. But at the same time, you might be less going out, instead of going out into the world to develop yourself through experiences and meeting other people and having different experiences. Instead, you're going inward, and you're and this could be even community initiation, but to me it's more, you know, now you're seeking first, I think, experience and understanding, and here is where you're trying to face inner demons, wisdom. The first phase that I've created, the one of experience, I think is less of an initiation than it is a gathering and understanding of one's own power and place in the world. These next cards, to me, are part of an initiation. Okay, so this is, and to me this card in this deck is really not about judgment. To me it's more like shamanic journeying, which is like this person out here on the caribou or whatever. And the bear, of course, representing hibernation and going within. So this is internal understanding, internal exploration. And when you journey, now not everybody does this, and some people advise that you don't, but you begin to tell your own story. Or you're even asked to share your experience. I mean, some of our initiations, like I would consider in retrospect, although really I kind of knew that it had to be that, or it was just a horrible experience, and that is when I initially had Lyme disease, the initial couple of years, when I was very weak and didn't know if I would be able to, if I was going to be able to walk more than, several yards. And so, that's the sort of thing, where you've been through a difficulty and you come out, and actually more people have wanted me to tell the story than I care to tell it. But, where you have something to share that will benefit others, and you acknowledge that you have something to share that would benefit others. Now, it could be argued this card needs to go at the very end. What is it? Yeah, it's 22. So I guess I have 23 cards here because this is an extra card. But I think that we have something worthwhile to share well before we get through all of our trials. Okay. So, and maybe I should have done this too. Maybe it should have been reflection and then storytelling. I don't know. Like I've said in these videos, say, oh yeah, but you need to reverse these cards, Jen. Okay. But I think within the storytelling, I think the process of storytelling sometimes allows us to reflect. I think that's some of the power of giving witness to our experiences. In any case, here we are at reflection. And because we have this person who, I'm taking that to be kind of the crossing to death or something like that. So what I see this as, let me see if I can use this, as this is what, upon reflection, we decide what to let go and what to keep. Okay, so that's a stage of evaluation of our experience, both outward and inward, what to keep and what to let go. So here's another trial. I don't know why we're going here. So I almost see this as, where'd our bear go? This is a friendly, intentional kind of initiation, and this is a not so friendly initiation. But it might be intentional. It's kind of like facing our fears. But you know, bones are not very effective. Okay, so they can be clubs, they can still do damage, but they're not nearly as effective when there's no muscle there to do anything, you know? So this might be recognizing one's fear and going on the path anyway. And these even could be other people's fears. Again, this could come in repeatedly. It could come in much earlier. Some people don't venture out because of their parents' fears. Don't go down a given road because of that, you know, and somebody is painting this as this color. But what I see this as is you're faced with this. This is what it looks like. This can be what in a book is called an upper limit problem. In other words, nobody in your family has ever gone to college, and so it seems like such a big and scary thing. Because, and you know, even though it's everybody's telling you should go, to you it's an upper limit problem because of the way it separates you from what you've known before. It can be, I'll even use myself, you know, my own, it's like, ooh, mediumship, oh, no, that's a little weird, it's a little too weird for me. That's where my, you know, challenging your comfort level, you know, that sort of thing. But when I'm putting on the other side of this that looks like, you know, a throat here, a throat with a spike in it, what I'm putting on the other side of that is this. So you go through that, and then you meet the ancestor who is, I believe, is intended to be a figure of initiation. And actually, what I take this as, for the longest time when I looked at this, I looked at it as, okay, so here's this figure that has a stick and a drum, and it's going to beat the stick and the drum, and, you know, whatever, you know, that's part of the ceremony, or it's part of their office or something like that. I don't know. I love the image, but there's part of me that just doesn't get it. And so now, in this process of going through these cards, I looked at it and I said, oh yeah, this is my oh yeah. Everybody else might think I'm completely crazy. But so it's like, oh yeah, all right, I get it. This figure, because this is an initiation, this is yet a completely different path on the journey, is going to give you the drum and this wand figure thing, drumstick, whatever, it looks like a horse here. Anyway, it's going to give that to you. These are your tools as you move forward into, through, and beyond to this other forest. So this, yeah, that's what the ancestor does, is gives you gifts for moving forward. And this is what you become when you walk through the two birches. You accept the drum and the wand, and you walk through the two birches. And to me, even though this appears to be a perfectly young person, to me this is sort of like cronehood. And on the other side of that is this, is seeing things not, so here to me this is, she is now blending in with the world. It's like having gone through individuation and merging with another, and then taking the steps beyond that into interior worlds and merging and going through. And now she's practically invisible. She's merging with everything. She's merging with the world. And as you merge with something, right, you're your concern for it and care for it grows and expands. So it's like now you're not protecting your forest, your family, your community. Because you are part of that world, that merging, that's now, in the Aquarian sense that the star usually represents, you're wanting to nurture, save. The world is your purpose. The preservation of the world is your purpose. The preservation of humanity, helping others, that all becomes your purpose. So again, it's a journey towards that broader sense of community and participation or contribution to community. All right, 21 minutes. How appropriate. Even though this one is actually, I think, 23 cards, because we've got 0, 21, and then an extra. Anyway, thanks to everybody who has followed me through this, thinking about the Greenwood Tarot and its focus and how I'm seeing it. And yeah, thanks for hanging in there, and thank you for any contributions you've made along the way. Take care, and I will see you again later for who knows what. Take care. Bye-bye.